Education is going to receive over 22 billion cedis out of the 190 billion. I'm using 190 here to mean that we have excluded amortization from this amount. And so we have 190 as the main budget for this year. And we have the percentage share of the ministry's allocation over the 5 years. And you will notice that we have been declining from 17.7, and this year government is allocating 12% of the total national budget to education. This is below international benchmarks of about 15% of total national budget to education. And so we are not actually doing well, and we know all the challenges in the education sector. Out of the 22.9 billion, we have over 2 billion going to free SHS, and the remaining 20 shared among all the other cost centers of the sector. By source, Ghana government remains the highest contributor to education in this country, contributing this year about 15 billion cedis to education, followed by IGF. The education sector generates its own funds and it supports what we receive from our taxes. GOG is the taxes government transfers to the Ministry of Education. And then we have our development partners. And then the oil revenue also contributes some funds. So we see taxes to education sector increasing along the years. By economic classification, of course, education sector employs, I think, the largest workforce, and almost all the allocation to the sector goes into compensation, as indicated by the blue bar. The levies we rake into GET Fund, or what we call the GET Fund levy, has been rising from 2019 all the way to 2023. We are going to experience a lot of a high rise in terms of the revenue that comes from the levy. However, whatever is mobilized through the levy is not all transferred into the GET Fund. So it is capped in a way, and part of it is transferred into the GET Fund. Revenues that we generate from GET Fund should be released for the intended purpose. We have capped, and we need to probably remove the cap, or the percentage of the cap is too much. We need to reduce it. If we do not release 60% of the GET Fund, how do we get our infrastructure in place? And we know GET Fund is not just for infrastructure. It also goes to support scholarships and some other things. And so we need that money to reduce. I haven't seen from our fiscal data on Ministry of Finance's website that we do not hit our target for revenue generation in any particular year. Even for 2020, year 2020, when we revised our budget downwards, we still exceeded our revenue for that new budget the revised budget. And so we always get our revenue, and we hear GRA announce it, that they have exceeded their target. So if we do, then the question is, why don't we release what we have appropriated to the sectors for use? That's the question that probably Ministry of Finance would have to answer.